And joining us now to talk about it is Bedford's head coach, Matt Guerard. Coach, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nick. Thanks for having me.
It's been a few weeks. Did you miss us?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I love coming on. I love talking lacrosse, and I think it's great what you guys do, promoting the game in the state and, bringing these kids on. So, it's a great show, and I love being a part of it.
Well, we like talking to you. I think this is the first time we've spoken since the streak ended. That's old news at this point for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's old news, but, people still ask about it. People, ask me, how it feels now that it's over. And for us, it's a bit of a relief, right, that we don't have that, with us anymore. It was a great run. Would have loved to have it continue, obviously. Would love to be, whatever we would be, right now with the number. But, unfortunately, it didn't work out to where we were able to continue with it. And, the only good thing I can take out of it is the fact that we got beat by a very good team. I never wanted the streak itself to end, to a team where, I felt that night we, could have won, and then eventually, lost the game and lost the streak. But, when the streak went down, it was to, a great opponent, and the game itself was a phenomenal game up through, 3 quarters until, Bishop Girton pulled away a little bit on us. So, the streak is over, but, as I told the reporter once, the bullseye still remains, though. We're still a big target for, a lot of programs and, a lot of teams, and it's probably going to continue, to be that way for years to come. So we're happy with what we've done over the last few years, and we just got to look forward to the future.
Brad Bishop on the phone. No, he's already off the phone. Now we're talking to Matt Guerard. Been a long morning, Matt. I apologize. Bedford's head coach. What can you tell me about the Exeter win? You guys pulled it off, 11-6 yesterday?
Yeah, it was, it's kind of a weird first half, one I've never really, been a part of before. We didn't touch the ball till about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. And it was, it wasn't for, any sort of breakdowns, on our part. They just kind of set up in this, massive circle, and they just threw the ball around in a circle for about 6 minutes. And, it was just strange how the first half, when we ended up, able to get the lead, at halftime. And then, the second half, we kind of, just took control and, ran our offense and executed our offense, very well in the second half, and, able to come out with the win. And we're on to our first Division I Final Four. So we're really, really excited about that.
Matt, what kind of Coach Atler here? What sparked you? I arrived actually a little bit after halftime. It was 6-3. I watched them pull it within 6-5, and then all of a sudden you guys just went on a tear there. What kind of turned the tide there? Who kind of sparked your run?
Well, I think guys finally realized that if we just ran the offense the way it was supposed to, and we weren't, we didn't try to force the crease, and we didn't try to force 65-yard skip passes, then, we were going to be in good shape, and we were going to be able to score goals. And I think the second half, the guys just started moving the ball really, really well. And, we have really great senior leadership on this team. And I think, one of our senior captains really took control on the offensive end, who was Sam Stanton. And, he's just really, good at getting guys in the proper spots and talking guys through offensive sets down there. Because he's, so smart when it comes to, his field presence. And, he really helped take control in that second half. But, just believing in the execution and doing the right things really, helped us pull away in that second half.
One of your younger guys I thought that really stepped up was Colin Hendrickson. I thought he played very well in the second half there. He shot the ball well, sort of. I thought he sparked you a little bit too.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when Colin, is feeling in a really good groove, there's not many guys that are going to be able to stop that ball, when it leaves his stick. He's, has a very, very high determination to score. And sometimes it leads to a couple turnovers on his part, but, when he gets the ball back, the next time he's determined to put that ball in the back of the net. And his second half play, was the best that I have seen all year with him. And, being a sophomore, the future for him is really, really bright. So I was very happy with his performance in that second half.
Yeah, I thought your goalie Tierney played well in the second half too. It was tight there a little bit, and he made a couple big saves to keep you guys in sparked. He had a couple outlets that I thought really got your guys going too. So I thought he was pretty key for you down there.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where the score was, I think it might have been 10-5 at one time, and then they got a 4 or 5 yard shot right on a crease, and Sean made a big chest save right there, picked the ball up and fired a quick outlet, and I think we went down and got our 11th goal on that one, or had a really good transition spot on that one. But the first half for him was a little sleepy because they weren't really dodging to the cage and they weren't really taking any shots. So he was doing more communication in that first half, but the second half he stepped up big and made some really key important saves for us.
Which isn't easy. I mean, as you know, being a former goalie, it's tough when you don't get in a groove in that first half. You don't see a lot of shots. Maybe you get a couple scored on you, and you start to get anxious. I give him a lot of credit for being able to find that groove in the second half and stay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get lulled to sleep. In an offense that doesn't dodge a lot, you don't see a ton of shots. Maybe you saw 7 shots. In the first half, I would say 7, maybe even 8 shots in the first half, but. Most of those shots were, a couple of them were, 10 yards, step down, no contesting the shot type of goals. And you can, just kind of sit back on your heels and get really frustrated with that because, as a goalie, you want to make your saves and you want to, produce that way for your team and help out that way. But when you don't see the shots, there's really nothing you can do. But, when he saw him in the second half, he was great.
Now, Matt, I just traded text with Jerry Holly, and he said that he thought that Zach Tucci and Colin Cashin wore Penna out in the second half a little bit, which, looking forward now to the Pinkerton game on Wednesday, is that going to be the same formula? I mean, with Tucci, I thought, as a freshman early on in the year, more than held his own and took it to Dattilo a little bit. That's going to be a big part of that matchup on Wednesday. Yeah,
that's in yesterday's game that Colin and Zach were phenomenal at the face-off X, and they're very determined and feed off of each other, not to lose a face-off, and they know that that's their main role, on the team right now. Roles could change, later on, but right now that's their main role, and they really work hard at what they do with that, and I think they did. They really wore them down. I could see, Penn in that second half, walking out to the face-offs, and you don't really see a ton of face-off guys when they have a lot of energy and they're ready to go, walking out to the face-off X. So those guys, Zach and Colin really wore them down, and, we're not going to change anything, come to Pinkerton game with the face-off X. Those two guys, did a really good job the first time around, and I don't see any change from either one of them come this second game with Pinkerton.
Now, when you beat a team 15-7, and it really wasn't a close 15-7, I mean, Pinkerton's going to have to make some adjustments from that first game. What are you like anticipating anything, or are you guys just focusing on your team and getting better?
We're focused on our team, but in the back of my mind, I know that something different, is going to come. Whether it's offensively for them or defensively for them, we can only kind of work off of what had happened the first time around and what we saw offensively and defensively. We were very, very well prepared for that first matchup, and we're going to be very well prepared for this one. We'll throw some wrinkles into our practice this week for a couple of days, seeing some different defensive sets, and I'll probably throw some different offensive sets, at our defense just to kind of, give us a chance to practice something if it comes, and if it doesn't, then, we were a little over prepared, but, we're definitely focused, and ready for anything, in any aspect of the game, come Wednesday. And I can tell you right now, I don't feel Wednesday's game is going to be anything compared to the first time around. They're going to be, much more fine-tuned offensively. They'll have more energy, in that game, and we're just going to have to match it and be ready to go.
Our guest is Matt Guerard, and unfortunately, Coach, we're just about out of time. We appreciate you jumping on. Good luck against Coach O'Reilly and the Astros, and hopefully we'll have something to talk about next week as well.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Coach G. That's Coach Guerard of the Bulldogs, and